Hello, welcome back. This is probably going to be episode two of Smudges. So before we start, honestly, I just wanted to talk that we met yesterday, last night, in the paddle place. The recording, we had some technical difficulties, and we decided to rerun it in the morning. And honestly, I like it. It's calm, or there's no one yelling, paddles all over the place. It was kind of hectic, but super excited. This is our guest, Mr. Hamad Alrayes.
Hamad Alrayes, yes.
Alrayes. Oh, so I just wanted to come in today. This is going to be one of the other episodes about the paddle as a whole. So it's going to be a two-part episode. So Mr. Hamad was so nice to come and let me interview him about paddle and about himself and talk about all these different things. We'll probably answer a couple of questions that you guys probably have a lot when you go into a paddle court. So hopefully Mr. Hamad will do the job and answer all the questions that you guys need.
Most definitely. Thank you for having us, and welcome to Padel Pursuit.
Thank you. Thank you for having us, Wallah. It was very kind of you. Honestly, I love the atmosphere here. And I like the artwork. It's very unique. And as you can see, like all the different paddles, you have a wide selection. So, Shalom alaikum. So for the people who are watching, they probably don't know who you are, where you come from or anything. So if you'd like to introduce yourself to everyone.
For sure. Okay, my name is Hamad Alrayes. I'm from Kuwait. I moved to Saudi a year and a half ago. And I really like the game of paddle. Got to know it in Kuwait in 2020. And one of the first things I wanted to do here was open a paddle court, and I have some, great partners that were, very motivated to do so. And alhamdulillah, here we are, and this is one of our first projects. Inshallah, many more to come. And Salahatan, Saudi and Jeddah, especially the people, the community, Salahatan welcomed me with open arms, and I really appreciate it. I'm loving it here, Salahatan.
Alhamdulillah.
Even getting to meet people like you and others, just it's a nice place to be. And it's a good time to be in Saudi for sure.
Alhamdulillah. I'm glad that Saudi is very welcoming, honestly.
It is.
And honestly, so basically, now it's the section to go into rapid fire questions. First thing that comes to mind, if you want to explain a little bit more in detail, you're more than welcome to.
Sure.
What is your favorite paddle racket shape?
I prefer teardrop because it's a hybrid between the diamond and the round.
Okay.
So it satisfies my type of gameplay.
Your type of gameplay, I'm guessing, would be more controlled.
More controlled, more defensive than attack. So that's how I play. People play different kinds of games, but as of now, that's my game. Hopefully, I can elevate it more and go on.
And how long have you been playing paddle?
About almost 3 years.
3 years. Okay, mashallah. Yeah. Experience.
Yeah, so far, but not compared to the. Yeah.
Like, just for the viewers at home who maybe have never played paddle, maybe they don't know the difference between the shapes. I picked out before the show 3 different shapes. If you could help explain to the audience what it looks like.
Okay, so we have the round shape, just because it's obviously round. More control, good for beginners, but also professionals use the round just because it has more control depending on what type of play you play.
Here you go.
You have the teardrop, which is between the diamond shaped and the round. So you see it have a curved edge more than a pointed edge, but mostly the sweet spots in the middle. Same as the round, it has a bigger sweet spot. The sweet spot is for you to make less mistakes. Of course, we got the diamond shape. You see it as more pointed. The weight is up in front or on top, usually known as. And it's known for attacking and smashing, and more professionals play with the diamonds. So that's the shapes basically in a nutshell.
Yeah. So back on the topic about the weather.
Yeah.
Let's say the weather is not an issue, and you're going to pick between having a morning session and a night session. Which one would you be picking?
Oh, definitely the morning. I love playing in the morning.
I would, but everyone doesn't wake up on time. They can't even make it at night.
It's hard. It's hard to get three more players to play with you in the morning. Definitely.
100%.
Although morning sessions are great, I usually, when the weather is nice, train in the morning as well, so that I just enjoy the sunshine, and you don't have the lights shining in your face, and it's for me, I prefer the morning, definitely.
Then in that case, what would you say is one of the most essential, or not essential, but like what's an important accessory everyone should have when they're going into paddle? A sweatband, a hat, specific type of shirt?
Well, depends. Yeah, for sure the shirts, especially with this weather. Sometimes you have to change your shirt twice, 3 times. I always wear a headband just because the hair doesn't get in the way. Towel, and yeah, bring your gear, and it's easy to, sometimes you just have to see. There's no essential. The essential thing, of course, is the racket. I suggest everybody to buy their own racket, just so they can get used to one thing and. Because each racket is different. Even when you buy a new racket, it takes time to adjust to it, to know it. It's like you're making friends again. You have to know their style. You have to know how much you the power, all that. So
it's like
racket is definitely the essential part.
But the thing I realize is, even the way you hit it, like even though it's the same shape, it could be like, oh, I prefer diamond shapes, but even like the foam, like the way it hits is different on each different company's racket. So like, for example, like when I smash, some of them it feels lighter, sometimes it doesn't feel as light, and feels like the foam needs, or it's double foamed. Is that a thing?
Yeah, so there's different shapes and different materials. So there's the carbon, there's the sandy, there's the smooth, there's the grip type. So you have the long grips, the short grips, the medium grips. And each racket will feel different depending on the shape and the texture of it.
Yeah.
Also the weight. You have to get to know the weight and how much your arm can handle the weight. If you get one, also you're gonna put an overgrip, a protection on it. You add 5 grams here, 5 grams there. It gets heavy sometimes with you playing a lot.
100%.
So, yeah.
Oh, okay. From your facility that you have, what is your favorite artwork?
Oh, I love them all, honestly, because they're all, first of all, Saudi artists. We promote that thing. We promote Saudi artists, Saudi art. Each one has
its own flavor,
its own value to me. Of course, Rex is one of the highlights. Everybody loves it. I like the Arabian leopard as well. It's just the placement of it and how it meshes with the courts. But each one has a different,
different place in your heart.
Exactly.
Shout out to Rex. Love your painting as always. Honestly, like I love his artwork. Also, what is an unwritten rule that you feel like people should know?
Well, definitely show up on time.
Yeah.
I mean, this is one of the things I struggled with in the beginning. People not showing up on time, people using their phones during, and one of the things also, people argue a lot sometimes when it gets intensive, and it slows down the game. So anything that slows down the game, even showing up on time, using your phone, that's one of my pet peeves, let's say.
Yeah, and I say honestly, like everyone should know. Please wear shorts with pockets so you can stuff your pockets with balls so that I don't have to go and collect it after, so that the flow of the game is a little bit quicker. That's my own little pet peeve. What's the most, we talked about this yesterday, and I know like everyone's just like, oh, okay, like these are new to us, but like we were talking about this yesterday. So I asked you about like a satisfying shot, and you told me a pendejo shot, right?
A pendeja, yes.
Pendeja. Yeah, pendeja shot. So how could you explain it? Like, what does it look like?
So the bandeja it's like a smash, basically, if you want to make it, simplify it. So basically you hit the ball and you basically, on a 3 o'clock, the ball, and you just, you smash it in a way that it comes down very slow, or very, let's say, low angle, and there's not a lot of bounce. And basically, you can hit that from anywhere in the court if you do it right. That's one of my, let's say, favorite shots because it could be done from anywhere. Of course, everybody likes the ×3 or por tres, the one that you smash it and goes out of the court.
Yeah.
However, that's basically on how your partner or how your opponent returns your ball. But the bandeja, you can use mostly all the lobs that you get, depending on where your position is, and it's a good weapon. Is if you start, if you can, let's say, do it professionally or practice it, it's one of the deadliest shots, I think.
Honestly, yeah, because how do you return such a low
Yeah,
shot?
yeah. You need to your opponent needs to flex if you hit it hard, you know.
But like, so I have two shots that I find absolutely satisfying. When I ever hit a smash, which is like rarely, but when I do, killer. Okay.
Yeah.
And this is a controversial one, and I feel like in the tennis and paddle community, when you smack the ball, it hits the net and just goes over.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you have to apologize.
You have to apologize.
You have to. But so, like, when I'm apologizing, I'm happy in the inside, but I'm like, oh, I'm sorry. Like, so I'm not really sorry.
Yeah, yeah. That's one of you can't. The net sometimes is with you. Most times it's against you.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's one of the hardest shots because your opponent is expecting it to land one side and then it changes direction.
Mm.
Same with the cage. The cage on the side. If you play with the cage and you try to smack it on the cage, it'll definitely change positions. It's one of the hardest.
You can never hit the cage unless
it has to
after
bounce
a serve.
first. It has to bounce first. It has to bounce.
But like I remember once, like I tried to hit a straight line, so I'm on like the out. I'm doing like forehand shots. I'm on the right side, I guess, and it just skims the whole wall and goes to the other side. Is that considered out?
If it landed and it didn't hit any of the walls before that, it's an in shot.
Okay.
If it hits one of the walls, yeah.
And I hear this a lot, that the lob is the best way to exploit like beginners because they get excited, they want to smash, and then it goes straight into the net.
So the lob, yeah. So there's with beginners you can exploit them in many ways.
Yeah.
But usually people coming from tennis, they want to finish the point as soon as possible. With paddle, it's a game of placement, and it's a game of errors. You're waiting for your opponent to make a mistake. With beginner levels, they're not used to the lob. They're not used to using the glass, so they could get confused once you hit the lobs. Yes.
But also, so there's playing on the net and playing back, defensive. Yes. So let's say you're serving. It's best to be on the net, like your team to be on the net.
So yes, you always want to take the net. If you were looking at the professional players, you always want to take the net because that's the favorable position to finish the point. However, there's pros and cons on taking the net. If you're not in the right position, people can use that against you. They can use a lob against you. They can hit you with a chiquita. They can many ways to explore it. Yeah, basically the one that comes really slow and very close to the net. It doesn't. It's basically skims the net, and it comes down so that your opponent is ready to volley it, but they have to reach down, and now they're exposed. Once they hit it back to you, they're exposed because you can switch the game up. Basically, you want control of the games. So if you get the net, it's known that you have more control of the game.
Okay, 100%. Like honestly,
you have to have the vocabulary.
I'm gonna definitely practice. Like I'm gonna exploit all you guys. I have a friend. His name is Mohammed Shisham. He's a really solid player, and I'll never forget. We're starting off. We just started playing paddle, and I invited him. I was like, "Oh, bro, like I know you're really good. Like you always trash talk before. Like you invite a friend. Yeah, I need like the mustawa to be the mustawa means like same level. Yeah, I need the level to be the same because I was like, I'll smoke you any day." He's like, oh, really? He came, he smoked me, and then I invited him again. He's like, bro, listen, like, I really don't want to come because, like, you guys are not that good. Practice. I was like, ouch.
That's another thing, yeah. So basically in paddle, to elevate your game, I say to everyone, you got to get beat. You got to get beat hard because that's, if you play with lower quality players, your game might actually go down. So that's why you see a lot of the good players, they handpick.
He's not going to play with me. If he sees this, he's going to be like, yeah, you're a low quality player. I'll be like, damn.
So yeah, you practice, you train, you get a few games here. You have to get beat a few times, get experience. It's all about getting experience and playing more mileage. And surprise them.
Okay, thank you so much. I think we're done with rapid fire. Let's go into the main question. So when I came to Padel Pursuit, it was very, very clear about the community. It's just different. The atmosphere is different. So for my first question, basically every time I look out, like I'm in amaze. I love it so much. So how have you and your partners innovated the atmosphere of your community in your own courts?
So one of the things we strive on is pushing the youth and the women to play the game, because paddle all across the world, or let's say in Europe mostly, it's played. It's run by, let's say, 30 to 40% women. So we came with that vision. We wanted to push that community, get more women playing, more youth, teach them young, get them into it. The rest will follow. That's one of the things we wanted to promote for sure. So growing that community, getting more people involved in that, those two sectors, I think it's key to growing the sport in Jeddah and in Saudi for sure.
So you targeted more of the kids and the family,
the youth
side.
And the family, yeah, for sure, because it is a family sport. It's easy for everybody to play with. The kids, I suggest you get them from 6 and above. My kid is four years old, but I'm getting him to.
Were you guys like really heavy on the marketing side when you
Not at
tried
all.
to attract?
Not at all.
It just happened organically.
Yes. No, we don't go hard on the marketing. We actually have it to be organic. People know us, friends and family, and that's how you grow the community.
Yeah, because I feel like that's a big misconception, because like if people feel like, oh, we don't have that many followers on social media, we don't have a community. But because you did it organically, it feels more natural and the community knows each other, rather than some random guy from a different area doesn't know like these people came in. But it's not like you're excluding these people. It's just whoever found it told word of mouth, basically.
Yeah, word of mouth spreads better than any social media or anything. Of course, you know this. But yes, we didn't push for the social media. We're not looking for followers on Instagram. We're mostly trying to grow the community within. If you know us, you're more than welcome. You can check us out. We have open days that you can come and try our coaches, our courts. So that's, I feel like that's the best growth. That's how you keep your community. A lot of you can buy followers, you can do sponsored ads, but maybe you'll get the followers for the wrong reasons, or people who are not interested.
Not here for the paddle.
Yeah, exactly.
But like, let's say like, because as soon as you walk in, I don't have a video, but I'll take a picture of it and I'll put it in. You have a huge area for anything to happen. Like you have enough space for people to mingle, talk afterwards. Was this part of the plan when you?
It was. We could have easily put 2 more courts.
Yeah.
It's not about the amount of courts. We like the open space. We like people to come and feel like they're not, trapped or in a closed area. We do many corporate events, private events, all that, and that's one of the things that people like. They like the space. We've done many events here.
Yeah, that's how I met you. I think it was your second event. One of our friends had a birthday party, and that's where we met and talked about.
It was a great theme.
Yeah.
I love what people come up with when they do their events.
Like
honestly,
80s disco.
Yeah, 80s disco night. It was very interesting. Honestly, one of the really nice events. Honestly, and I think they did it because they wanted the space too.
Yeah,
and
it's a comfortable space. I don't know how to explain. It's homey in a sense. But like, for example, also like I feel like a lot of people in Jeddah like came during this time. You did an out of 10 pop-up happened here. They did a car meet. They had food. They had thrifting. Yeah. How was that with you, like as an experience?
These guys, they surprised me, honestly. I loved their setup. Setup was one of a kind. They brought some cars. We have a classic car here, so we do love the classic cars. We love the classics. And it was a nice show up, honestly. I did not expect that many people, and amazing event. Very nice guys, honestly, and hopefully we can.
Turkey. Good job, wallah. Like
hopefully we can collaborate in the future. And honestly, what out of 10 brought to us, it was a different, let's say, age group.
Yeah,
and that's what we're trying to promote. The youth. Everybody in the community, they know us. We got some. It's a win-win situation. They did their thing. They
Yeah.
got their event on the map, and we gained them as customers.
Yeah, honestly, it was great exposure for you, and it was organic as well. And I feel like I hope you got a lot of foot traffic out of that afterwards.
Oh yeah, we did.
Yeah. So also, you talked about this briefly, like while you were introducing yourself, that since you're a man from Kuwait, I wanted to ask you more about your experience about building the community as a person who wasn't brought into the community. Like most of us were all raised together. We all know each other from school. But like from a man coming from Kuwait to Saudi, how was that experience of building this community?
I mean, it's difficult to move from a country, especially at an older age, hitting the reset button and making friends again, getting to know people again, starting from scratch, But like I said in the beginning, Saudi have been, or especially Jeddah, were very welcoming. I made very good friends here. My partners have been great. They also have a community, so there I met their friends, their family, all that, and honestly, paddle is one of the things that really helped me adjust with the Saudi life or moving back. The community has been great. Like I said, many great people. You play with them, you see different levels. You meet a lot of people here. It's a very communal sport and social sport.
Yeah, it's well. Also, I was just thinking about it when you came to Saudi, like a kid. It wasn't an easy move, and this is one of the life lessons that I wanted to talk about. Like, especially you were just saying, like as an older man moving to a new area is just so difficult.
Yeah.
But what pushed you to be like, you know what, like why not take that chance? Is there something for the audience at a younger age to like?
Oh, definitely. First of all, you can't live in your comfort zone all the time. Getting out of your comfort zone will push you. You will expose things within you that you did not know before. So as you grow, your circle of friends and all that, they get smaller and smaller. For me, I had to start from scratch, and I had to break that barrier and get out of it, and start putting an effort and getting to know people from scratch again. Also, maybe sticking in that comfort zone in Kuwait, I had to make a move to.
It was a drastic one.
It was. It still is, I mean, but family, friends, paddle.
Yeah.
All this are pieces to the puzzles that help you grow as a person, and I feel like it's the right move so far. So far, so good. I would say 2022 was a hard year to adjust, but it's getting better, to be honest. It's always going to be a hard move.
It's always tough.
It's always going to be a hard move.
Your comfort zone is just
your comfort zone is your comfort zone. And when the first thing you have doubts, but then once you get on the highway, you're not looking back.
That's the thing. I know when I first started the podcast, I am camera shy. And
you don't look it, mashallah.
Thank you. But the thing is, like, that was one of my comfort zones doing the podcast in the beginning. It was just behind the camera. No one has to see. They only have to hear about me. So like, this is new to me as well. So it's super uncomfortable. It's not, I wouldn't say uncomfortable. Like, I feel like it's just a normal conversation that we're having, and it's somewhat a camera, in front of us, but it's okay.
All you need is mileage. You just need to more practice, more that, and you'll feel.
I feel it's just like paddle. Like I'll
exactly.
practice. There's no pendejo shot or pendeja. But this is one of the main questions of the whole paddle series that like I wanted to do with this episode. So paddle is considered a very trendy sport, especially in Saudi. Everyone's saying like, oh, it's a trendy sport. That's why it's so saturated. Personally, I see it being the next football. Like, how everyone's playing football at a young age. I see paddle being that for us, the more modern Saudi sport. Where do you see paddle being in the next 5 years?
Okay, so there's two questions.
Two parts,
there's two parts. So I think it is they يسمون الهبة. الهبة meaning it's the trend.
Yeah.
It could be. I mean, I've seen it in Kuwait where it just boomed. Like you can't find any courts, and then now it's coming to like a drop. But it's not really a drop. It's just because there was many courts. Now you just basically clear
just
out, and
leveling,
there's still interest from a lot of players. It is the fastest growing sport in the world. That's 100%. So how it catches Saudi, that's going to be the difficult part. How is it going to last? Is it going to be as big as football? I doubt it, because football has been in the game, people have been, it's about the generations. That's why you bring in the youth, you bring in other people in the community, and this game will be here to last. I see it here to last, just because of the talent I see with Saudi players. Mashallah, Saudi caught on to the game a little bit, let's say, after the Middle East, like after Qatar, Dubai, or UAE, Bahrain.
But when we caught it, we caught it.
You caught it, and mashallah, there's good players coming out of Saudi, and I see it. The next 5 years, you said, I'll see like professional Saudi players. I can see them. I see them. I played with a lot of them. I could see a big jump in talent, for sure. And this game, I think, will be here to last. Maybe not as many people will be playing it as you hear now, but there will be still a big demand for it.
So are we going to see like a Bandar playing against LeBron?
Well, I hope so. I hope so. I heard there's the Saudi Federation are working on they're cooking up some things to get some professionals here to play some tours. We should have a Middle East tournament. We should definitely should.
But like the thing is, like there's like, when you say Spanish players and Saudi players and Europeans, okay, like it's new to us, we're catching up, but eventually when we catch up, it's really exciting, the Saudi games, like the initiative that they took to excite people, to go out and try something new and like compete against each other. It's a beautiful thing. So how do you feel, does the Saudi game has anything to do with the boom in paddle as well?
So about Saudis, you have to know they're very competitive, and when they're into the sport, and they are committed. And they
eat, sleep, breathe.
Yes, definitely. And I love that mentality. And I feel like there is potential. Listen, the Spanish people, South American, they've been playing the game since they're 8 and 12, so they have more mileage. It's all about more mileage, more experience. Okay, so when when a professional player or a professional female player becomes 16, 17, she's already got many years under the belt, the experience. So the game was just introduced here, 2021 probably, I think, and
right after COVID.
Yeah, right after COVID. So I feel like right now it will be, in 5, 6. Maybe 10, before the 2030 vision. Maybe you'll see a Saudi player in the WPT. You never know.
Is there a common thing that you feel like Saudi should refine or focus on when it comes to paddle? Like, is there something that we're all like just missing out on, or is it just time and practice?
I think they should focus on the youth. Definitely focus on the youth. They should have more. The Paddle Federation should take initiative to maybe take things under their arms and create a youth academy for paddle. I think this is one of the key elements to growing the sports, and it's not an Olympic sport yet, by the way. It's not an Olympic sport, but I feel like it's coming, as it is one of the fastest growing sports in the world. And I feel like pushing the youth would be academies and things like that would help elevate the game.
Do you think they should introduce paddle into like school curriculum, as in PE?
I mean, it's all about the facility, and if you can. But yes, for sure, I'm definitely with that. If you have football, if you have other sports, basketball, if you have the chance to put paddle, for sure, it's racket sports are great for hand-eye coordination, and it's good. And there's a study that says that people who play racket sports live a longer life. So definitely, I think it should be introduced to schools for sure.
For sure, but thing is, like, everyone has summer camps out abroad. I'm speaking strictly abroad, like summer camps. If it's a summer camp in Saudi, it should be indoors. But should we have a winter camp for the youth? Because I don't think that many people stay here for the summer because it's so hot.
Yeah, I can
Everyone
see
wants
that.
to leave.
Yeah, everybody wants to see that. Yeah, winter camps, summer camps. If you have indoor facilities, incorporate it with schools. It definitely should that's a great idea. I think it should definitely be done. Especially there is a winter break for kids.
Exactly.
Yeah. So why not? I know a lot of parents don't want to you want to give them a break, but I think kids with sports, they can play every day. I mean,
Honestly, if they're playing video games, they can definitely play like
they're on their iPads.
exactly. And I think, inshallah, if I ever do have kids, I would not just force them. Like I'd make sure that they're like playing outdoors.
For sure.
Less times on screens. So, do you have any last messages that you'd like to tell the audience that are watching today? Like, could be about anything life, it could be about paddle, it could be about your own person. Is there anything that you would like to talk about?
Yeah, definitely. I suggest everyone to try the sport. Bring your friends. We'll have open days at the Padel Pursuit. Any other facility. We want to push this community to grow in Jeddah and in Saudi. So try the sport. Check out some YouTube videos. Learn the bandejas. Learn the vocabulary.
It's my new favorite
understand the different type of hits, and bring your game. And we're ready to host you at any time. And please reach out if you need any assistance with getting into the game, or your kids want to get into the game. So that's my last words. I think everybody should try this game at least once, twice.
Any age.
At any age, and see how you feel about it. It's not a trend only. I think it's here to stay.
It's here to stay.
Yeah.
20% discount. No, I'm joking.
For sure. Use your name. We'll do that for you.
Actually, 20% off if you come and say smudges for your first time coming.
Yes, first time coming.
First time coming, or I'll say like 1 week after this episode. Like you have a week to redeem it once. 20% actually.
And if you have no experience at all, and you have coaches, we can also, help you get into the game with any way you want.
You actually
just come and try it.
You're actually serious?
Yeah.
Yeah. Take that. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys found this beneficial. And I wanted to thank you so much, especially that you were on such a tight schedule, but you made sure to have the time to do this. And I'm really appreciative. It's like 9 a.m. right now.
Thank you.
And you came in.
Well, thank you for the opportunity. I'm glad I met you, and it's a pleasure to have, promoting the sport and having people like you in our facility.
Thank you so much.
Sure.
Inshallah توصل بالسلامة wherever you may go.
Thank you.
And enjoy the break. So when you come back, you're refreshed, and hopefully there'll be more to come.
Amazing.
Inshallah.
Amazing. Yalla, we'll look for part 2.
Appreciate it.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Take care.